My friends at Cybertake sent me a little package this week, and believe it or not, air conditioning and heat in one unit. So what's in this bag is 5,100 BTUs of air conditioning and 6,100 BTUs of heat. All right, so before we crack this open, let's talk use case scenario. So I'm in the Southeast, and often we're, in the spring and fall, heck, even into the winter a bit, we're, 70 something, almost 80 degrees in the day, but then we're gonna be 45, 50 degrees at night. Same scenario with, if you've ever been to the desert, you might get a 100-degree day out west in Arizona or Utah or something like that, but easily drop down to, below 50, below 60 at night. So you need a unit that can do a little bit of both. The fact that it's got 3 different fan speeds, precise temperature control, and a 12-hour timer, so you can set to turn this thing off at any point you want to. And so with adjustable fan speeds, which is great, gives you the ability to get this thing down to 40 decibels, and that's going to be sitting outside. Inside your tent, imagine you'll never even hear this thing. And so just like the bag we talked about, IXP4 rated. Now that's not going to be submersible. Again, that's going to be things we'll be able to splash on this. You'll be able to get a little rain on it. In ideal conditions, maybe this sits out on your rooftop or on a table and you plug it into your tent. Poor weather conditions, you can still use this. I just slide it underneath here, and then you would have no problem with just a little bit of splashy getting on it if you ran your tubes out and up into your tent right there. All right, so now like I mentioned, 21 pounds. You're looking at 18.5 inches long, 14 inches tall, and 10 inches wide. All right, so when Cybertake was putting this machine together, they didn't just want to slap any old compressor in this. So they worked with Panasonic together to produce the compressor that's inside of here. Now this is going to be an inverter compressor, so it runs quietly and is able to ramp up and down as needed. Something called a swing compressor. I don't really know what that means, except for the fact that it's supposed to run a bit quieter, and it is set up so that it doesn't leak any of the refrigerant that's inside. Inside, these guys are using 5 rows of copper pipe for the cooling array and a stainless steel waterway, so that there's not going to be any rusting or any weird flakiness or crap. So let's see any kind of noise. Not really. I don't hear any sound coming off of it. And we are looking at 46 degree air coming out of inside of there. 44 degrees. Try again. 35 degrees. It's just going down. 31 degrees. Oh, it's freezing air coming out. Man, that is cold too. All right. Let's see what kind of power we're pulling. We are pulling 197 watts. Like 200 watts. Air coming out of this thing is 29 degrees. We're gonna bring it over to heat. See what kind of air comes out of here. All right, here's something fun. Let me see if I can get rid of this light. You see how that tube's glowing red? Back when we were on air conditioning, it was glowing light blue. So that's how you know that you're actually in heating or cooling mode. I showed you the light that was on the little thing earlier. It actually portrays into the tube for you. Thought that was pretty fun. All right, so with the heat ramping up, this is where you start to see your big power pulls. I mean, look at this. We are at 520. But let's see what kind of heat is coming out of this thing. 78 degrees. Oh, 93 degrees.